hard landing.
Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Z, founder and chief event organizer for SCORCH, one of Southern California's largest and fastest growing off-road meetup groups. Now if you caught our last video, you know that we're out shopping for a new lead rig. We're trying to decide between a Toyota 4Runner, a Jeep Wrangler, or a Ford Bronco. Now the feedback and support we got from that video was amazing. But one of the things we heard is that you wanted to see the vehicles try some harder stuff. Well, today we're on our way to one of Southern California's iconic trails to meet up with some familiar rigs as well as some new ones in order to push them to their flexiest limits as we check out Cleghorn Ridge for a future SCORCH ride. Come on along. After dropping in on Jeep, Toyota, and Ford dealers to get a handle on pricing and timing for landing a new rig, I was even more on the fence. So I relished the opportunity to take a harder look at their off-road abilities. I invited a pair of SCORCH Scouts from the first video back to put their rides through their paces. Blaine gave me a lift to the run in the latest generation Jeep Wrangler Rubicon JL, sporting extra armor and suspension. We met up with Robert and his modified 5th generation 4Runner. For a closer look at their rigs, check out our prior video and take a moment to subscribe to our channel while you're at it. I really wanted to mix it up a little for Team Toyota and Team Jeep, so I called on the Dougs, a pair of trusted SCORCH Scouts. Doug M brought along his beefy 2012 Wrangler Rubicon JK, while Doug A busted open the archives and arrived with a first-generation Toyota 4Runner sporting a range of mods. Finding a Bronco, as always seems to be the case, was a challenge. Paul and his first edition Bronco were unavailable, so we once again turned to Bronco 6G and posted another plea. This time it was Ryan who answered the call in his Ford Bronco. Oh, hold up. I'm not done. In his 2-door Ford Bronco. Wait. And a manual transmission. Not yet. And no Sasquatch package, which means smaller tires, lesser shocks, less ground clearance, no locking front axles. You get the point. Okay, go. At first I thought, this isn't going to be fair. Then I thought, why not put a fairly basic 2-door stick-shift Ford Bronco against 4 built-up Wranglers and 4Runners spanning several generations. So that's what I did. We're going to take off now. Who wants to be tail gunner?
This is Doug M. I can be tail gunner.
Okay. Copy that, Doug M. You are tail gunner. So Cleghorn Ridge is not that long. It's about 13 miles long. Has a bit of a reputation as being sort of a rite of passage for a lot of drivers out here in Southern California. It's an interesting road because it really can fit all skill levels. Because at its base, it's a fire road like we're on right now for the main part that runs the first full 13 miles. But there are these little choose-your-own-adventure offshoots along the way that come along that really add a lot of excitement to it. A lot of them are off camber or really narrow. Nobody who's out here today in our scouting group has been on these trails since the last round of storms, so really don't know what we're gonna find, and that's why we do a scout. So I'm here with Ryan. I guess Ryan is our newest member. But we're here in a two-door stick shift, which I gotta say, much props. And who's our friend here?
This is Sienna.
Sienna's. I love off-road dogs because they're just so chill despite chaos that's going on in the cabin. All right, so every Bronco owner who actually has their Bronco, 6th gen anyway, they have a story. How'd you get your Bronco?
My wife works at a dealer, and she called me up and was like, "Hey, they have a Bronco here. Somebody abandoned it." So
she works at a Ford dealership. That's an inside track.
Yeah, I got it in October actually, so I've had it for about 4 months.
Okay. Which version is this? This is not a Badlands. What are we looking at here?
No, this is the Black Diamond, so it's one below the Badlands.
The one below the Black Diamond. Do you have the Sasquatch package on here?
No, I don't.
So you're rolling it raw. You're going 33s, yeah. Right?
I wish I did have the Sasquatch because this has a rear locker, but it doesn't have a front locker.
Oh, okay. Has that been an issue for you?
No, but because the Bronco doesn't articulate as good as the Jeep does, if you start, and because I'll lift tires like all day in this thing, and you don't have the traction obviously when you have an open diff and you have one in the air, so
right.
It's just one of those things.
So if I ask them, what did you end up paying for this?
I think it was 43.
Okay.
Something. So, like the Black Diamond is the one above the base, and then they had put the roof racks on, which I forget that was an option. I mean, I probably would have picked it for sure. And then the tow package, although you can only tow like 3,500 pounds, but. And then the Black Diamond has the skids underneath and then like the steel bumpers and stuff. So I definitely think that this trim level is the one that I would have picked. I mean, the Badlands is nice, but it's quite a bit more. Yeah, and that's pushing 60, right? So for a 4-door anyway. If I was gonna like make a suggestion to anybody that's gonna get one, I'd say definitely get a Sasquatch if you're gonna go off-roading at all, because it's nice just having the extra, having the locker in the front and then I don't have the disconnect, the sway bar disconnected on this thing. Put my tire in a bad spot on the last one. Kind of got a little too tippy and couldn't get enough traction. And, you know, picked a better line, but...
Yeah, well, line selection is everything, but...
Yeah.
See, you already managed to crack your windshield? When did that happen?
Second day I owned it.
Second day you
I was driving down the freeway and got it rocked from a semi-truck.
You road tripping in this, or what's your this is a daily driver too, right, for you?
Yeah, just a daily. I mean, road trips and something, this doesn't have very much cargo capacity, so I have roof racks for it. They're not on right now because they're really loud on the highway, but you know, I gotta get some extra storage if I'm gonna go anywhere in this thing.
Would you have considered a Jeep or a 4Runner, or why not?
Yeah, I actually was looking at like the Gladiator with the diesel motor in it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I like this one a little bit better than the Jeep. I think it looks a little bit better. It also drives better on the road, in my opinion, than the Jeep does.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of driving in Jeeps at work and stuff, and it's just one of those, you don't, like on that solid front axle on the freeways around here, it's not awesome. This just feels like it's a real big car on the freeway.
I mean, it's a great vehicle. I watched you go up these hills, and I continue to be impressed with the Bronco.
Yeah, don't be afraid to get a manual. They're pretty fun.
I'd be afraid to get a manual. I couldn't. Like I said, I can't get myself through. I can't get myself through a parking, a parking booth without stalling. So there's no way I'm gonna pick it up one of these things.
The automatic obviously is easier, but the crawl gear in this thing is pretty nice.
It's good, and I continue to be impressed with how quiet it is inside the Broncos.
Yeah.
I really thought it was going to be a much louder experience.
Oops, sorry, pup. Get here. Did you slide off the seat? Come on, get back up there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Did you do some spotting? Yeah. All right. Holy shit. You might want to look at this first before you come down it, actually. Yeah, that drop off right there, so your left tire's going to go right in. I'm worried about your body hitting that corner right there. And if I put you on that side, you're going to slide into this ditch anyway. So you gotta put that tire like tight on there.
Right on that edge.
Yeah, right on that edge. That's some good work there. Good spotting. That was some good spotting, without a doubt. Come forward slowly. Blaine's gonna helpfully push your vehicle over. Nailed it! He's just gonna crunch right on down. All right, I'm here with longtime SCORCH Scout Doug A. We got two Dougs here.
Yeah.
And I'm in his Generation 1, although at the time they probably just called it Toyota.
Yeah.
Toyota 4Runner. What year is this thing?
89.
In 89. It's amazing. Now, you said you had a 5th generation?
I did.
So what brought you from there to here?
Well, I had the 5th gen and I had this one.
Oh, nice. So you were bookending the whole thing.
Yeah. So this is I wanted one of these since I was in high school, and as I grew older, I found it for $3,000, just the way it is.
$3,000.
$3,000.
And have you modified it at all?
Yeah, I put front and rear lockers.
Air lockers, right?
Yep, air
like,
lockers, and I lifted it about 2 inches, and then I got an inch body lift. And I just recently did a 3.4 swap for the engine.
Oh, okay. So you've done some work on it. Tell me the story of your 5th generation then.
So the 5th gen, I love 4Runners. Yeah, so I had the 5th gen, and I bought it in 2019. But shortly after, I bought a toy hauler, and it would struggle to pull that toy hauler with my toys though. So I needed something bigger, so I decided to sell it. And it's a crazy market that we're in now. It was the time to sell. So I got $10,000 over what I paid for, and I bought it new.
You bought it new, and you sold. How long did you have it for?
2 years.
For 2 years, and then you made $10,000 selling it.
Yep. I have about 35,000 miles on it.
So, do you have another rig right now, or is this your one and only daily driver here?
No, this is my daily. I bought a 2500 Ram Power Wagon, so I can tow my hauler.
Gotcha.
So,
how many miles does this thing have?
This one, well, on the clock it has almost 280.
280,000 miles.
But the
Nice.
new engine in it has 92,000.
So you've driven the 1st gen, obviously still driving the 1st gen. You've driven the 5th gen. What's the same? Like, what's the core value of these 4Runners that have you coming back over and over?
Off-road capability. They're just so capable. I've never owned Jeeps, obviously, but I think to me they're just versatile, more versatile than a Jeep when it comes to highway, being versatile on the highway and the off-road.
Do you miss the 5th gen?
Yes and no. I do, because of its how capable it is, but I don't, because I'm using my toy hauler a lot more now. 5th gen, every time I pull my toy hauler, I have to flush out the transmission.
Oh, seriously?
Because it was cooking it. So I was like,
This one makes a lot of noise.
Oh yeah.
When it's going up a hill, it sounds like a 17th century wood ship coming by in the harbor. It's just all creaks and yeah. So, how does your 1st gen and your 5th gen compare for off-roading? Because this one doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles.
No.
The 5th generation has got all sorts of crawl modes and stuff like that. Tell me how it feels going from one to the other.
Honestly, I think this one is better just because of it doesn't have all the technology. Once I put the lockers, the front and rear lockers in this, it's just as capable, if not more, than the 5th gen. Just it's narrower, has a shorter wheelbase. I think I can get in and out of places that a lot easier than I could with the 5th gen.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's interesting and easier to maintain, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, much easier. Only thing, the downside to this. Let's see how I'm gonna do this one.
You want me out?
I don't know. Yeah, another reason I say is I'm already at 20 degrees.
Oh my God.
Once I hit that 30.
That's an old school display, but it's, it definitely does tell the story right now. Yep. That's a tough angle. All right. Hey guys, we need some weight. Can we have a couple of people come stand on a rock rail so we can tilt this vehicle in the right direction? That wall's pretty close.
You want us on this side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
A little comic relief there, all right?
Yeah, I think I'm better off putting my weight here.
Is that doing anything at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A little counterweight. Just as a reminder, we have a human being hanging off the vehicle.
You have two. Two human beings.
So problem solved. There we go.
Keep going that way?
Let me get down this portion here and then we should be good. This is Alright, I think we're good.
You can get off now.
I'm gonna go change my shorts.
Oh man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a pucker factor. Take no damage.
You took no damage at all, so all part of the game. The other good thing about having a 1st gen over a 5th gen is a couple of scratches. You don't cry yourself to sleep at night.
Exactly.
have gone faster, but
these people are never going to follow me again. This thing makes a lot of noise too when it's flexing. It does. A lot of that is the top.
Wow.
So Doug M was feeling brave and he decided to knock down Skull and Crossbones. And he came to a stop and we'll see what's going on here.
One last obstacle.
How was that coming down?
That was slippery, but that's the obstacle.
What, you mean the giant boulder blocking with the giant pit next to it?
That's the one.
What are you thinking?
Left.
You doing it?
Yeah.
All right. He's doing it, kids. Look at that drop. Sliding on the slider. One way to do it, and just pop into place. Oh, that was a hard landing.
The thing is a metal bumper.
Metal bumper, baby. Where'd you come from? You look like off-road Jesus up there. He's gonna school us by coming back up it, right? No one's making you do this.
So you want to be on the right. Obviously the left is going to be too much articulation and too much flex.
Are they in danger of sliding over?
Probably. Possibly.
Are we?
Rolling?
Won't we slide off the rock here?
That was my question.
Yeah.
So tell me about this vehicle. This is a JK, right?
This is a 2012 JKU, U for Unlimited, of course. It started out as just a Wrangler Sport, and I put a Rubicon front axle in it. So I got the front 44 axle with the locker, and then I put a ARB locker in the back, so I got dual lockers. It's kind of like a built Rubicon, with the exception I don't have the low speed transfer case, which I really miss. I bought it new. I put the first 25,000 miles on it stock before I started my upgrades, so I felt like I wasn't punishing it before it was broken in. I have met a lot of great people out here that go wheeling, yourself included. And that's part of the reason I have to admit I really enjoy wheeling out here right now, because of the camaraderie. There's so many great people that will go out with you and do this. And you just have a blast. You meet new people, you have fun, and there's always somebody who's watching out for you. You never feel like you're out there all by yourself.
So tell me the different vehicles you've had.
I went backwards in time. I had an 84 CJ, an 81 CJ, a 78 CJ, in that order.
Okay. So how is this on the road when you're not going lead-footed on this thing? It's not built for that?
Yeah, does 70, 75 fine, but beyond that, it just doesn't feel like it's comfortable going that fast. It's not that it can't go faster, it just isn't comfortable. You don't feel like you're a little high up. You feel like it's a little loose on the road.
So what's your take on the Bronco? As a Jeep fan.
I've always liked Broncos.
Yeah.
I like the Bronco.
So, I mean, there's some great innovations in the Bronco that I would love to see in the Jeep. And there's some things in the Jeep I would love to see in the Bronco. I mean, you know, every car is a compromise to a certain degree. You just got to figure out what you want to compromise and what you don't want to compromise. Well, we made it.
We made it.
Thanks to your help. All 5 of us made it. All 6 of us. All 6
It was a good day.
Absolutely.
It was a good day.
Time to air up. It was a great day. The Bronco did amazing and continued to impress. The 4Runners proved they can pound, or finesse, their way through anything. The Wranglers lived up to their reputation as supremely sure-footed and confident on the trails. But it was the team that ultimately made the day memorable. The next day, I reached out to each of the car dealers for a final read on pricing and availability, and one was able to come through for me. The last I heard, the next SCORCH lead rig was being shipped and was on its way to Southern California. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm keeping my lips sealed and my fingers crossed until it arrives. Make sure to hit the follow and subscribe button to get a heads up on our next video. I'll take you along as I go pick up my new rig and take it out for first impressions on and off road. Thanks for watching. See you out there. Well, true story. I came down to the bottom of Skull and Crossbones and said I'd meet everybody at the fire road so I could get shots of them coming across. And I don't know what happened, but they haven't shown up. I'm not sure I'm on the fire road. So this is an important lesson. Always stay with your group. So I'm basically just chilling out in the middle of the mountains, waiting for somebody to figure out where I am. Make an occasional call on the radio. Not much is happening there. Let's try one more time. Jay-Z to SCORCH. Anybody out there? Anybody on SCORCH? Nothing? All right. Stand by.